Hello and welcome. You're watching Head to Head. I'm Antonina Antosha with UATV. The Ministry of Justice of Ukraine has launched the new initiative called Family Counselors, which aims to protect the citizens' rights in the field of family law. To talk more about this initiative, we are joined in the studio today by Stanislav Kutsenko. He is the head of the Kyiv Territory's Justice Department. Hello and thank you for joining us.
Hello.
So the initiative called Family Counselors, what is it all about, and how desperate are Ukrainians in need of such an initiative, would you say?
First of all, who are family counselors?
Okay.
These are volunteers of Ministry of Justice of Ukraine who helps people with such issues like domestic violence, home violence, non-payment of alimonies, and other cases that happen in families, like difficult situations. It is like experimental project of Ministry of Justice of Ukraine, and now they work only in several cities of Ukraine.
So it's like a pilot project,
yes,
right?
Pilot project.
So which cities is the project already available in?
Firstly, they were opened in Kyiv, also in Lviv, Odessa. We plan Dnipro, Kharkiv, so major cities of Ukraine. And then we analyze how this initiative works. If it is successful, we plan to spread it through all Ukraine. First of all,
what is the testing time period for
actually,
the initiative?
we plan to see what are the results till the end of the year, because the problem of domestic violence, home violence, is very important, because a lot of women, for example, are victims of such crimes every year. Almost 600 women are victims of home violence, and they are killed. And
this is a horrible statistics.
Yes, and every day police fix from 300 to 350 cases on home violence, and it's only 10 to 15% of real number, because we don't know the real picture. Why? Because women or men who are victims of home violence
don't usually talk about it.
Yes, they don't talk, and especially about sexual harassment. And now we have also such types that are legalized, like physical harassment and economical and psychological also.
How will family counselors help resolve the issue?
The scheme is following. They consult people on weekly basis in the frame of free legal aid in Ukraine. For example, in Kyiv, it is third legal aid center that is situated on left bank of Dnipro in Kyiv. And every Tuesday from 11 till 2 p.m. people can come there and consult with family counselors. Together with them, there is representative of State Executive Service, psychologist, and also lawyer. What do they help with? They help with real situations that are very harmful for victims of domestic violence, and they are told the exact steps that should be done to solve their issue. By whom? By family counselors who also were victims of home violence, for example, or they were not paid alimonies, but they have own recipe how to help people in such situations.
Of course, this is done free of charge, right?
For sure.
Do you have any feedback so far already on the pilot project? Maybe there is a story of success you would like to share.
Yes, for sure. Family counselors, they help people throughout Ukraine, because they work like paralegals also in other cities. For example, in Sumska Oblast, we have case when paralegal who were not family counselor at that moment, but still helped his colleagues to apply with compliant on home violence, and also compliant to village head on territory, let's say, order, how to make order near to buildings. So such paralegal help people in this exact situation. So houses were repaired, roads were repaired also at that village, and with that situation helped paralegal who was not lawyer, but he knew what to do in the exact situation.
Family counselors have a lot of opportunities, as you have already mentioned, but what are going to be the responsibilities of them as the counselors?
We understand that there is not much responsibility for them, because they are volunteers.
There could be an effect, you know.
They are volunteers, and as you mentioned quite correctly, it's a pilot project. But near to family counselors will be specialists of justice. As I told, the representative of executive service who helps with state registry in which there is information about debtor, for example, on alimonies. And he has exact information about exact case when person come. Also, there will be employee of Ministry of Justice. It is called the Free Legal Aid System, who will give official consultancy on legal issue. And for sure, volunteer who is family counselor, he gives his or her variant how to solve exact situation based on own experience.
So it's basically up to the client to make up his or her mind whether to follow the piece of advice given by a family counselor.
Quite right.
Okay. Well, this experience is quite new for Ukraine, right? Did we borrow it from any other European country, or did we come up with it by ourselves?
First of all, we used United States experience in this case. They have very huge experience in paralegals, and family counselors are semi-paralegals as well, because they don't have legal education. They just know how to behave in certain situations, and they share this experience. And also we borrowed this experience from Europe, because they also have such help from people. And you know that in that countries also developed, watchdogging is developed. For example, when neighbors help with solving some situations, in our country we used to not to tell anything about what is going on in your neighbor's house, but in Europe and the United States, vice versa. And I think it also should be done in Ukraine. We need to help each other.
I actually agree. Let's talk about another project of the ministry, which is called Open Space. Could you tell us about it?
Open space is like open space because it is big and open space where people can register acts of civil status. It's like departments of registration of civil acts, known in Ukraine like ZAKs, but with new format. And we have there three major principles. First of all is comfort, second is transparency, and third one is convenient. So if we talk about transparency, it goes about premises, because you really can see through transparent doors what is going on inside with your documents and with other clients.
Okay.
And second is procedure, because you know what is done step by step. You fill in documents, you pay fee exactly at the place and receive documents very fast.
So this project is being implemented only in the capital of Ukraine, right, in Kyiv, or in other cities as well?
Actually, we have opened 22 open spaces throughout Ukraine. We plan to open 3 more till the end of the year. And I plan to visit also that cities, because it started from Kyiv, you were right. It was in November 2017. And within this year, we have 25,000 visitors.
So it's quite a popular initiative.
Yes. Actually, this open space is situated in Darnitsa Department of Registration of Civil Status Acts. But people from other districts of Kyiv come there to receive service, because it's, as I told, transparent and fast. And they can have it in comfort, because we have comfort couches, tea, coffee. In summer it is ventilated premises, and in winter it is warm there. This normal service for Europe, for United States, for civilized countries, but for us it's something new, but it's European level service.
Both of these projects we just talked about are quite impressive. Anything else you have in mind for your plans in the future as the representative of the ministry?
Thank you for your question. We have a lot of plans. Actually, people always think about fair court in Ukraine. In frame of justice, we have execution of court decisions. And people know about how it is difficult sometimes to have your decision of court to be executed. So we plan to have open spaces also in sphere of execution of court decision. They will be called centers of execution of court decisions. And they will have also the form of open space, because people will be served like in normal conditions, as I told you, in comfort. It will be fast and no chance for bribery. And I hope that this example of Ministry of Justice of Ukraine will be like also example for other governing bodies in Ukraine, how state should behave with people and what level of service should be provided.
When does the ministry plan to launch this new initiative regarding execution of court decisions?
We work on it now. We plan to open first service centers at the beginning of the next year. We are preparing to them. And also I want to announce that in frame of registration of civil acts, next year new open spaces will be opened, and we plan go from capitals of oblasts to smaller towns for people.
And rural areas.
Rural areas as well, because people there also need European level services.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your initiatives, for your projects. They're very effective, they're very useful. I hope you go on. Thanks for coming and explaining and telling us all about it.
Thank you.
That was Stanislav Kutsenko. He is the head of the Kyiv Territory's Justice Department. Thank you so much for watching UATV. Stay tuned for the rest.